We are live for real this time. Sorry for those of you that have been waiting. I am now on my actual Facebook feed. So for those of you that are watching and don't know what's really going on in the game, because maybe you're not in the viewing party or whatever, but Max, who is on the right of your screen, Trey, who is on the left of your screen, are competing. They're going to compete live here in a second for the final head of household of the game. And what that means is whoever wins gets to decide who is the final person evicted from the game. There's currently 3 people left in the game. The third person is Abby. She's waiting in the wings, just kind of watching to see what happens. So whoever wins this will decide to either evict Abby or evict the person they beat. So Max and Trey do not know what the competition is. All they've been told is they need some paper. So if you want to grab your paper, and basically you just need one piece of paper right now. The second piece of paper will only be needed if there's a tie.
Oh my God.
So on your paper right now, I need you to, in big giant letters, on one side write A, and on the other side write B.
Oh, this is the scales thing.
This is, yes it is. This is directly from the show.
I love this challenge.
This is it's a tricky one. So here's Trey to catch you up to speed, and Max, but I have 6 questions. Each question is about a question I asked the jury. So for example, a question might be, what did Josh say was his favorite part of the game? A, Max, B, Trey, and you have to tell me what you think Josh said. Or, you know, whoever the juror is in the situation. Without further ado, are you ready?
Yeah.
No. All right, here we go. Question number 1. John said that his favorite part of playing Big Brother was A, the silliness in the house, or B, making new friends. When you're ready to reveal, don't, all right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Trey says A, and I think, yeah, Max also says A, and A is correct. Question number 2. When asked to describe his Big Brother experience in a word, Bradley said it was A, exhilarating, B, stressful. All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Trey says B, Max says B. B is correct. 2-2. Question number 3. Bobby felt that the least trustworthy player in the game was A, Quinn, B, Trey. All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Max says A, Trey says B. The correct answer is B, Trey.
Oh.
So that's 3 for Trey, 2 for Max, heading into question 4. Leighton said his favorite competition was A, Deal or No Deal, B, Wheel of Fortune. All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Trey says B, Wheel of Fortune. Max says B, Wheel of Fortune. Both of you are incorrect. It was A, Deal or No Deal. We stay 3,
That was my
2.
second guess.
Same.
Question number 5. Quinn said his biggest regret in the game was A, playing too strong of a game in the beginning, or B, trusting Max.
Oh.
All right, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Trey says A, Quinn says B.
Max says B.
Oh, Max says B, I'm sorry. The correct answer is A, and Trey has won the final head of household. For fun fact, question number 6 was Melody said that if she ever played Big Brother again, she'd be more careful with the decisions she makes. So, here's what we're going to do.
You too.
You have I'm going to bring Abby in, and we'll let her...
Oh.
Here's how this is going to roll. It's pretty simple. We will let both Max and Abby give a brief pitch of why Trey should keep them in the game, and then Trey will make his decision, and we'll probably have a little bit of time before official jury questioning time. So we'll either cut the feed or just chat for a little while.
Cool.
Abby, I'll let you go first, if you'd like.
No.
No. Yes. Josh said you should go first. You should go first.
Ooh. Rock, paper, scissors for it?
No, Max made it to part 3. Abby didn't.
Y'all just ripped my pants.
Oh my gosh. Everyone is dying to know what is going to happen here, Abby. We don't care about whatever just happened.
It was my favorite pair of jeans.
Oh my. Oh. Are you trying? Is this how you're trying to get Trey to keep you? Is by hitting on your jeans?
That's rough.
No.
You got this, girl.
No,
Let's
listen. Me and Trey worked together in our last season. We worked together some during this season. We didn't always agree, and by always I mean that we never agreed on anything ever. But we respected each other's decisions civilly. We did work together, I don't know, like some. And I think that considering that we've made it this far after last season, that it'd be kind of nice to make it to Final 2 and, you know, win it. But
Trey's starting to write. When Trey starts writing, then
that makes me uncomfortable.
What does that mean?
it could mean
I don't know,
anything, to be
Trey.
honest. It usually means basically nothing, but it could mean anything.
And
Okay,
you have
so
to
it's just
think,
staring at us.
Trey, you got swayed by Quinn to go against Max. So there's a good possibility that Quinn had... Love you, Quinn. Love you a lot. But there's a good possibility that Quinn could have swayed the House to vote for Max. So just throwing that out there.
All right,
Anyway.
Max, you're up.
There's no chance. I will first of all say that Quinn actually scared me when he was texting me after I got him out on my HOH. Like, he was depressed, like, very, very sad, and, like, sent me this weird message about, like, me belonging in the last circle of hell because I'm a traitor. So I don't think he's over it. I don't think Melody is over it. I don't think John and Bradley are over it yet. I'm not sure how many friends I have on the jury at the moment. And Abby, as you can tell, is a hilarious person and naturally bubbly and just instantly makes friends with whoever she meets. And I think that's going to be hard to resist for the jury. I think it'll be a much more even matchup between us than it would be if Abby made it to the final 2.
Oh. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult, but thank you anyway.
Of course.
All right, Trey. If you need a little bit of time, you can have it, but otherwise, it's pretty much decision time. You will cast the final eviction vote of Big Brother Hometown Season 3.
Okay, first off, guys, this is such a tough decision because, I mean, the fact that all three of us made it here, we clearly all deserve to be here, and therefore, like, it's really tough. So, my gut says that because Abby is so likable, and she hasn't really screwed over anybody in the house, if I was to go against her for the final 2, I wouldn't have a prayer. As much as I would like to have, like, the former season, you know, like, us carried into this season, but I just don't think for my personal game I would have a chance in heck that I would beat her, because the jury would love her and hate me because I played a little bit, like, made some moves that kind of ruffled some feathers. So for that reason, just because I think I stand a better chance against Max than Abby, I think I'm going to evict Abby.
And it is final. Abby at the doorstep.
Oh.
Wow, that was very intense. Abby, you played an absolutely great game. leaps and bounds better than last time. And you did it like on your own. Like, I'm so proud of the game you played. For the time being, I'm going to kick you out of the chat. We'll bring you back in later for if you want to ask questions for the jury. And any parting words?
I'm naming my child Max.
Oh my God, Abby. Oh.
All right. I'm going to let Max and Trey just give a brief statement. Just a brief opening statement. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. And then we will let the jury kind of come in whenever they can. Bradley said he might be a little bit later, so we'll try and get some other people in. Jury, when you come in, feel free to talk as much as you want, ask as many questions as you want. This is a completely open forum. We are not on live television, so we don't have to, be constrained by that. Abby's probably going to be the first one we bring in. She's ready to rock and roll. Obviously, she was on standby anyway. So this time I will let Max give the first brief opening statement.
Who am I talking to? Am I talking to like the whole jury or like a partial jury or?
Assume you're talking to the whole jury.
Okay. Hello, jury. I just want to start off by saying I love each and every one of you. The game was just so much more fun because of the personalities in this group. I had an amazing time these few weeks, and this game took up a big portion of my mental energy and just my thought process. And I'm so glad it was with people that I genuinely enjoyed talking to. I would just say, in terms of your vote tonight, go with your gut, go with who you feel played the best game. I think it's me. I won 5 comps in a row this past week. I had a strategy from the beginning. I executed it, and it got me to the end. And I made some big moves in this game. I shook up the house. We were kind of coasting in the game until that first week when I tried to backdoor Quinn. So I think I had a big part in shaping the way this game was played, and I hope you guys recognize that and vote for me to win. Thanks so much.
Trey?
So firstly, I just want to thank each and every one of you in this game, because honestly, it has been such a blast just hanging out with y'all, roasting Josh with y'all, and just having so much fun in this house. Like, last year was a lot of fun too, but last season, but this season there's something special about how we all connected and just like really congealed as a group really well, I thought. And I'm just thankful that I got to be a part of it. This game took up a lot of my time just because I was so excited about it, because initially I wasn't sure how much free time I would have, but then I just got so sucked in this time and just went hard. And honestly, I mean, the vote's obviously up to y'all, and ultimately you got to make the decision who you think played the better game and who you want to win. And I mean, obviously I hope it's me, but I respect all y'all's opinions, and I'm just glad that y'all are even sticking around to do this and just be a part of this decision. I had a definite strategy of sinking under the radar and looking like I wasn't a threat, and then trying to vault my way at the end. And I think I executed that. I think I did. So I think that I have earned at least some of y'all's votes, and I hope y'all will vote for me.
Cool. Abby's back.
Hey.
Hey, Abby.
All right, Abby, the floor is once again yours.
Am I doing my vote right now too?
No,
I wasn't paying attention.
Just talking.
Okay.
You'll do your vote separately in the diary room.
Okay. What am I talking about again? I forgot.
This is you asked.
Oh, I have to ask some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Old Maxie boy.
Hey.
What do you wish you would have done differently?
I wish that I had not been too quick to make promises that I couldn't keep. I was so eager to make friends, and if people would come to me with an idea, I would be really quick to say yes just because it sounded great, but I wish I had thought more about how alliances that I had would cross with each other, and how I would kind of be caught in situations that I couldn't really get out of. So be more careful about those.
I feel like for the most part, like you were really loyal to our alliance besides, throwing your brother up. And the only time that I ever like really lost my trust in you was that, but then I remember, are we like putting everything out on the table right now?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. Then I remember you had messaged me, I think it had to do with John, and you said that you were making empty promises that you couldn't make. And that's whenever I was like, well, if he does that to Quinn and he's doing that to John, like he would probably do that to me. And I was like, okay. So that was the only, like, there towards the end, you had my full trust until the end, and then I was like, never mind.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
But other than that, like, I think you both played a really good game, and I'm really glad that Trey ended up getting to go further this season than he did last season.
Yeah, Trey, just for a little history on Big Brother Hometowns, Trey we had a different number of people, so Trey was in the literal one spot in the game where he got evicted, where he couldn't be on the jury and couldn't have a shot at the battle back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
really unfortunate.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was the first jury member, and see, that's what I noticed. Quinn and Greg both battled back in and won HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
So when Quinn did that, I was like, mad props.
There's a lot of weird parallels between all three seasons. It's trippy.
Yeah.
No, Quinn and Greg were kind of foils for each other a little bit. I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Quinn was a little bit nicer than Greg. Sorry, Greg.
Greg was also a little bit like James, too, I feel like.
Well, I just want to point out that in one of my very first diary rooms, I literally said that. I was like, I just want to throw it out there that James was in the car with Tucker Finland and Greg. And I was like, nope. If he is friends with Greg, I do not trust him.
Abby, do you want to drop your bombshell?
Oh, yeah. So I actually don't live in Nashville. Trey probably knew this. I live in Milton City, and me and Melody have been best friends since 2010.
Okay, well, I knew you were in Melody. I didn't take that one.
No, like we are.
That out.
She is the godmother to the baby.
You guys.
She is my absolute best friend in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
And I honestly was really scared that you guys would figure that out, because as soon as we both said we were from Johnson City, I was like, crap. And I texted her. I was like, okay, here's our story. And we came up with this like whole big story, and y'all fell for it.
Oh, that is hilarious.
No,
Also, side note, Ashley Wells, you joined at a really good time. We were talking about your husband.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
30th. Big time.
Anything else, Abby?
So Trey, when all of that was going on with John and Bradley and the whole throwing Brad under the bus, and like John was making all that mess, I know you explained it to me once, but I kind of didn't understand it, and so you can explain that again if you want.
Okay, so second bombshell getting revealed on this. Me, Bradley, and John all are from the Statesville, Troutman area, so we knew each other from back home. When the game began, we were going to all work together and try to have the three Statesville boys be in the final three. But the idea was that I would be their secret ally, because John put me up at first, and the idea was to make it think that John and I were beefing, but we really weren't. But then, as the game progressed, like when I saved John with my veto, like because I had that secret veto stored up, and I was like, John, do you think that if I save you, we can keep Bradley? And he was like, yeah. So then I was like, okay, because I really didn't want Bradley to go home, because Bradley was I feel like a little bit better liked than John was in the house, and had a better chance at going far. So once, but then, and Bradley was like, okay, we can do this plan. And then Bradley got voted out, and I kind of like felt betrayed by John a little bit. Like I was like, oh, so you're just saying whatever you could to get me to save you, and then Bradley had to go home, which I kind of was sad about. And then when I was like stacking up and looking at the votes and stuff, I realized if I stuck with John and didn't make a move, then we were just rearranging seats on the Titanic. So then Quinn offered me a escape valve that I could join y'all, which I had wanted to from the beginning anyways, because, like, Abby, I remembered you from last game, and I knew you were, like, trustworthy and stuff. So when Quinn offered to throw me that life raft, I took it and grabbed on.
Well, see, it's funny because we actually had wanted to work with you from the beginning, but you had already, like, associated yourself with the other two, and whenever I would mention, voting with us or something, you were always opposite. That's where we, like, always would disagree, so that's why they were like, we don't know if we would trust him.
And that's fair. And and that's why I was fine with working y'all later, because I knew, like, I get that we were on opposite sides of the house, and that sucked for a little while. Yeah. But then when we were able to join together, that's why I was excited. So I was like, boom, we can actually get together finally after 2 seasons, finally actually being on the same side of things.
Yeah.
But with the part that we disagreed about, where it was Ben, though, I had just wanted to work with Ben as, like, an ally to try to make it look like I had a different alliance. And plus, I really liked Ben because I had met him before.
Yeah.
Crossroads, which is a great game. Anyways, and then
what? Facts.
No, balling. Anyways, so then they were all trying to get me to flip on Ben, and then you were trying to get me to flip on Ben, and I was just like, man, but I want Ben to pull through, and ultimately it ended up just being me who voted to save Ben, but alas.
Yeah.
But so it was funny because I wasn't even why, but yeah.
No, like, I wanted to keep Bradley. I trusted Bradley. Him and Melody were actually the only two that I trusted at first, because at the very beginning of the game, I didn't trust Quinn. I did not trust Quinn at all. And whenever he reached out to me and Melody, I was like, at first I was really sketched out, but we ended up making it as far as we did. And I feel like the alliances that I had, most people, like, didn't see them coming at all. Like, didn't expect that to be an alliance. And we ultimately, from what I remember, John was the main target because of the stuff that he was saying to Melody. He was very, he kept messaging her and was like, trust me. But he didn't tell her what the plan was. He said that your alliance wanted mine and Melody's vote, wanted to work with me and Melody, but nobody ever approached me about it. So that ultimately put you and you, Bradley, and John all as, like, major targets to me, because it's like, if you guys wanted my vote, then you should have messaged me instead of, like, having John message Melody and say all this stuff. So ultimately, I feel like you and Bradley, I told Bradley from the get-go, he messed up by associating himself with John. I did say you at first because I didn't know where your head was at, and I was kind of bitter, but it's fine.
Abby, I need to pull my Julie Chen out a little bit, because John is needing to come in the next, like, 10 seconds, because he just said he needs to go as soon as possible. So
okay.
We can bring you back in later if you feel like you need. Oh, wait, Abby just. No, never mind. John just said give me 2 minutes. So you got 2 minutes.
Whoa.
Well, lucky for John. Kind of done now.
Sorry. I cut you off on that one. I pulled my my Julie Chen, but John was making it sound like he was like, I need to go this second or else. All right. But we will be bringing. All right, John is ready. It was less than 2 minutes. So, Abby, bye-bye.
I'll be right back up.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, John, floor is yours.
All right. So, I got a couple questions then. First off, stereotypical question. I want both of you to go one by one and tell me why you deserve my vote.
Do you care who goes first?
Trey, you go first.
Okay. John. Okay. So, I think I've played a good game. You and I were thick as thieves for a while until, like, our alliance went to crap, and I felt so bad that things went downhill, and I like, words cannot describe how sorry I am that things ended the way that they did. But I feel like I played a good game, and I feel like, for the most part, I played a pretty clean game. So, I mean, yeah.
Max?
All right, Max.
I guess I can echo some of that and say that on my HOH, it was never you that was supposed to go home. Quinn was the target. I tried to backdoor him that week, but he convinced Trey to keep him. So for that, I'm sorry. That was not supposed to happen. I think I deserve your vote because I really started to take control of the game right after that night on the Super Bowl. I just started a streak of challenge wins and just took control of my own destiny in this game. I made alliances where it counted. I relied on them, and they relied on me. But then I made the hard moves that I needed to make in order to ensure that I would make it to the end with a shot to win.
What else you got, John?
Bunny!
Wow,
Let's see.
this is great.
I got to keep my poker face on, so
You're doing a great job.
thanks. All right. So there's 3 people up for this vote, correct? Or am I stupid?
No, it's just them.
It's just those 2.
Yep.
Okay. All right. For some reason, I thought it could be Abby too.
Nope. Trey won the final HOH and chose to sit next to Max.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I'll be serious now. Sorry.
Okay, great.
I like the beard.
I did too.
Yeah, I like the beer also. All right. So, what would you change? If you could go back and change one thing in the game, what would it have been? Max, you start with this one.
If I could change one thing in the game, I would have talked to Trey after you used the veto on him. It all happened so quickly that I just didn't even process that meant that he was now voting. And I didn't think I needed to consult with him about what he was going to do. So when you went home, that was just a shock, just as much a shock to me as it was to you. So I wish I would have talked to Trey.
If you think about that, if that would have happened, Quinn would have went home. I would have stayed, and there's a decent chance that you would have been sitting next to me in this instead of Trey. Is that really for 2 people that played their hearts out for this? Because I was doing my best to be scheming and lying the whole time too, just like everybody else was. Who? I guess my real question is, if it wasn't Trey that you were sitting next to, who else would you rather be sitting next to right now?
Either out of anyone in the jury.
Yeah, because that's mainly what I'm basing my vote off of. Is who would you be sitting next to? And don't think that just saying me gets you my vote. That's not what I'm after.
If I have to be honest, then probably Leighton.
Probably who?
Leighton.
And why is that?
Because I feel like Leighton, I didn't really talk to Leighton that much, and I'm not really sure what kind of connections he had in the game. I feel like everybody else in the jury was really well connected with at least some portion of the house. And they would have a good shot to influence votes to come their way. I'm not really sure. Sorry, go ahead.
And you feel like Leighton wouldn't have those kind of connections?
That's my gut feeling, yes.
Okay, so it's more of taking a goat in.
It's being strategic about who you take. I watch Big Brother every season, and it's a Cody, Derek, Victoria type situation. It's taking someone that you have a good shot against. It is. If you take someone that
that's
is obviously going to beat you. Okay.
All right, Trey. same questions. If you could go back and change one thing, what would it be?
Okay, so I'm not sure that this will help my case. But if I could go back in time, I would use my veto to save Bradley instead of you, and here's why. That's where my trust for you dissolved, because when I asked you, do you think Bradley will be safe if I save John, and you said, oh, yeah, no, he'll be fine. We got this. And then Bradley went home. I felt kind of betrayed. Like, I felt like you were playing me just to, like, save your own skin, just so that, and, like, kind of make Bradley your scapegoat, which I cared for you both. Like, I wanted it to be us three. I wanted the Statesville boys in there. So when I felt like you sold out Bradley to save yourself, and Bradley was like, sure, whatever, I felt like you had played me to, like, get rid of Bradley, and I didn't. And I know that wasn't your end goal, and, like, you were just playing the game to save yourself. But that's where I started feeling this friction. I was like, is he in it for the team?
That's really not true, but I understand where you'd be coming from on it.
No, and I know that wasn't your goal, but that's just how it appeared to me at the time. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that wasn't fair. Like, if I was in the same position, I would do the same thing. But was my thinking.
It was mostly I had already pissed a lot of people off in the game, and Bradley hadn't, so I figured he had a better chance because, you know, in the end, Bradley and I always had each other's backs, and we were hoping it'd be us two sitting there. But I kind of see where you're coming from. And who would you rather be sitting next to other than Max?
Well, truthfully, it would probably be Quinn, and here's why. Because, like, he played a game, like, he won a lot of competition and stuff, but I don't think there would be a soul that would vote for him. So if, like, since obviously the Statesville boys weren't able to take it all the way, I just don't think the vote would have been close, and I think he deserved to be in the final round just because he was, like, winning a lot of competitions, but then also nobody liked him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the Statesville boys would have also been in a less ideal way for me, but also a really fun time, too.
Okay, so last question for both of you. How serious do you take pinky promises?
Oh, my gosh.
No!
It's death. Pinky promises to the grave.
Okay, so Max takes him to the grave, and Trey.
So, I want you to know that after the Super Bowl, I could not fall asleep because I felt so guilty. And I took the pinky promise so seriously. Like, if it hadn't been a pinky promise, I'd have been like, it's a dog-eat-dog world and I eat the dog kind of thing. But, like, because I had so much, like, we had so much, I felt like mutual trust and stuff, and that it just ended up crumbling the way it did. Like, obviously not to the grave because I'm still alive, but I felt miserable for the next 2 days. Like, for real. I know it's hollow now.
Anything else, John?
No, do I just end it whenever I'm ready to be done?
Yeah, you should be able to kick yourself out.
All right. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
See you, John.
All right, next.
Bye, John.
John was rough. He brought it. I'll give it to him. He really did bring it. Next, we are going to bring in Quinn Teddy.
Oh, my Lord. What's up, bro?
Here we go. Quinn, the floor is yours.
QT.
Where do I begin? Well, see, I don't know. This is tough. I have a question that I'd like to ask both of you, and that question is, what is the biggest lie, if any, that either of you told, starting with Trey?
The biggest lie I told. Okay, so after I've, like, voted to evict John when it was June John on the block, he asked me point blank, bro, I know it was you, in all caps. And then I was like, no, what? And then I, like, kind of played like I had no idea what he was talking about. And I did that with Max, too, actually. Yeah. So that was definitely the biggest lie.
It wasn't very convincing.
Oh, I know it wasn't, but that was I just felt so bad. Like, it was more like John, so like that I betrayed him, but like I knew it was the right move and stuff. So yeah, the biggest lie was like, no, I didn't backstab you.
Okay, all right. And brother Max, let's hear it. What's your biggest lie, huh?
Honest, it's a tie between two, I think. The first one was telling you that you were safe the first time I tried to put you on the block.
Yeah.
That was definitely a big one. By the way, group me make this so easy to lie is dangerous. Like you don't even have to like. It's a problem. And the second one would be telling Melody several days ago that I wanted to do a final two with her, and I wanted to sit next to her at the end.
Okay. See, Melody made a final two with me towards the end of the game.
I'm not surprised.
And I was convinced that she was gonna carry that through, but unfortunately she didn't. Oh well. Trey, little thing I just wanted to fill you in on. You were supposed to be in my alliance at the very beginning of the game with Max, Bradley.
Hilarious.
It was going to be you, me, Max, and Bradley, and that was the only reason was because we all liked pineapple on our pizza.
Heck yeah, no, I wanted that to happen because I was like,
okay.
Pineapple, yo.
So I made the group chat alliance, and I was like, all right. So Max said it, Bradley said it, and then I was like, John said it, but John never said that. You did, and I completely just brain farted and thought that he was the one that said that. So we were supposed to align with you from the beginning, but that never happened.
That's how that worked out. That you brought the forward. I was wondering how that. Oh man.
It was by a complete accident.
So we had an alliance called the Pineapple Pals, and that went on until about week 4 when you won HOH, and then I got kicked out. But then I came back, but then I got kicked out again. But I digress. Let's see. Let's just be honest, Trey. You don't have the comp wins over Max. That's just kind of objective. So I want to know, despite that, what is, and you may have already answered this, but maybe just try and find something else there. What's your strongest asset in this game besides comp wins that makes you think you deserve my vote?
Well, I think it was my cunning because last season when I played, I saw the people that were like really zoom into the front like Ben or you, where like you just kept winning competitions after competitions. Those were the people that kept the targets big on their back. So I'm not saying I threw competitions, but there were a couple of competitions I kind of loafed on if I thought I was okay and safe, just to prevent getting that target on my back before it needed to be there. And then I happened to ally with people who kept winning competitions, and I was like, yo, why win the competitions? Let's just let them get the like big target on their back, and let me just kind of follow right behind them so that I can.
Gotcha.
So like, I'd like to think my cunning was, in a way, like, well, I think I played the house rather than played the competitions, which I think obviously played to my advantage.
All right. That's fair. Final question. What are each of you going to do with the money when it hits your bank account? Max, you go first.
No one has ever asked this question. 3 seasons.
Really?
Nobody.
Wow.
I'm honored.
$150. What am I going to do with the money?
There's a right and a wrong answer here, so tread lightly.
There is? Oh, I'm going to buy a kendama.
My vote hinges on this question.
I'm going to buy like 10 kendamas.
Oh, okay. I think you're going to patronize me for my vote.
Shameless. No,
My turn?
probably I'll use it. I'll probably use it towards a ski trip with my friends Ben and David.
Okay. Trey?
Okay, So this answer would have been differently if I hadn't gone home this weekend. But when I went home this weekend, I realized my parents had already bought CPS All Access, so now I can binge Big Brother whenever I want. So that is no longer at the top of my list, and
Okay.
I would hopefully be able to fulfill maybe 2-year-long dream of actually buying a bass, an electric bass, because I play guitar, I play banjo, electric and acoustic guitar, and then I would be able to add banjo to my repertoire and like have a little more variety there.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, Your Honor, no further questions.
All right. Anything else you gotta get off your chest?
Are you insinuating something?
No, not at
Do you
all.
hate me, Quinn? Do you hate me?
I have some transgressions with you, but we'll discuss that when you come home next.
That might be like a long time from now.
Well, that'll give you some time to plead your case, all right?
It's gonna fester.
Oh my God.
Quinn, I personally love how
Wow.
hard you played. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun to watch. There's so many things I was
I
critical of,
didn't.
but still,
Bradley boy,
Bradley,
I see black.
I can hear you.
I see black.
That's a little more ominous, though. I kind of like it.
Just the void talking to me.
Hey, can we hear me?
we can hear you, can't see you.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh, there he is. Wow.
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness. He dressed for the occasion.
Are you wearing
Okay.
a suit? Bradley, scoot over a little bit because I'm blocking you in the feed. Go to my left, your right. Or just move the camera. Oh, perfect. Yes, there you go.
He has a mic and everything. This is great.
Very impressive.
Hello,
right.
everybody.
Bradley, the floor is yours. Quinn is here on standby just to watch.
How are we doing today? How are we doing today, guys?
Wonderful.
Pretty good.
Okay, this is doubling up my voice for some reason.
I don't
can
think you
hear
have
myself,
headphones on.
guys. Hold on.
Don't watch the live feed in addition to being on the call.
We got blue,
Okay.
Mets, blue Mets, orange. It's just a Mets
Okay.
podcast, man.
I think I got it set up right now. Are we good?
Yeah, go for
We're
it.
good? Okay. How are you guys? How are we?
Doing
You
well.
doing good? Hey, Quinn.
Great.
How are you?
Hi, Bradley.
I miss you, man.
You too. It's been a long week.
Yeah, it's been a long 3 weeks. The first two things I want to point out is you can't really see it here, but what we have here is a pick stitch of two pinky promises from Trey.
No, I protected you till the end.
And right here is just a little bit of cologne because I smell like rotten pineapples.
Yes, you do. You're right, you do. And never forget it.
Yeah.
And this
I
is the
like
third
that.
thing I got. So I'm just going to be very stereotypical and ask like John did, starting with Trey. Why do you deserve my vote?
Well, like, were you listening to the John interview first?
Maybe. I want to hear it again.
Okay, what I said was we're back. What I said was that my biggest regret was using the veto on John instead of you, and here's why. When I asked John, "Hey, are we going to be able to keep Bradley?" Because I wanted to keep you, because John, people didn't like John. I thought you and I could go a long ways. So when he was like, "Yeah, Bradley will be fine. Let's go," my trust began to deteriorate when you got voted off because I was doing everything I could to save you because you were the one I foresaw a long relationship with because John was going to be gone soon anyways. And I was like, okay, so if we can keep all three, that is awesome. And then when John was like, oh yeah, we can save Bradley, I was like, okay, then if I'm trusting you here. And I was like, Bradley, you sure you're okay with this? Because you were the one I wanted to use my veto on. And then he was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then when you got gone, I was like, I feel like John's just using me as kind of a pawn. And then there were other things that made me think that more. And I think those things were just me being paranoid. But that's why I turned on John. But you, I always wanted to keep.
Okay. Before you go, Max, 2 points to make on that. One, I want an answer to this question. You voted in that. Did you vote for me?
Me?
Yes.
I've sent John video evidence that I indeed voted Leighton off.
Okay. Second question. Going back to the first question and just being tough here, I asked you why you deserve my vote, not apologize for me getting out. I'm over that.
I wasn't apologizing. I was saying that because I was your loyal ally from the get-go, the plan was always for one of us to win this thing. I'm here.
Oh, Mac, Quinn has a whiteboard.
I just want to say I've written out the entirety of this season on this here whiteboard, and it's been pretty special to me. So if you have any questions about what happened, I got it.
That's actually very helpful.
I can DM you that video right now if you would like it, if that makes a difference.
That'd be a spiteful vote. That'd be a spiteful vote at that point. Quinn. Max, go ahead. Give me why you deserve to win.
I deserve to win because I executed my strategy that I came in with at the beginning, which was to lay low at the beginning, let other people make themselves targets, and then ramp up my gameplay in the middle and just continue on to the end. I was not afraid to make big moves in the house, as evidenced by my willingness to put Quinn up on the block and vote out Melody when I had just made a final 2 with her. But I also won the comps to back that up and give myself the power to make those big moves and change up the game. Because I think the game had been kind of a little bit stagnant before the Super Bowl. And really this last week, I think my comp wins really influenced a big part of how the game was played.
Okay. My next question is going to sound really awful, and it's going to kind of make me sound like a bad person, so I'm going to try to ask it in the least sexist way that I can ask, which we've all been thinking it. Hey, John, how are you? Oh, my goodness, look at you. You look so good, man.
John, just stay quiet for now and let Bradley do his thing.
Bradley, you should have let me know the plan for Suits, and I would have done it too.
I
Bradley,
thought about it
finish
on
your
the way
question.
home.
Finish your question. I want to move a little bit.
Hey, don't rush perfection.
You look great.
Thank you. Quick side note, me and John, along with knowing each other and Trey, me and John have been best friends for like 10 years. So that was another thing. So to Melody, yeah, you can hide it. No, you don't know anything. So,
But don't worry, Bradley. I wasn't liked. I was going soon.
pizza revenge. So the question I have to ask is, did either of you, and be honest, you can hurt feelings all you want, it's Big Brother, did either of you keep the females in this game as long as you did to ensure your own safety to get you to where you are now?
Who do you want to go first?
Go ahead, Trey.
Okay, so the reason I teamed up with the females is because I was in a bad position when, after you got voted out, me and John were together, and there was a big target on both of our backs, and I was terrified. Oh, there was, John. If you didn't see it, it was there.
It was there. Abby and Melody.
Anyways, so then when I had the opportunity to join Quinn and the girls, I saw that as the best way of me being able to actually stay in the house. So that's why I worked with the girls.
Okay.
And Melody proved herself to be a good competitor down the stretch.
I had all the trust in the world in Melody and Abby, to be completely honest with you. I talked to them on a daily basis and was honest with them every time we talked, and I got screwed out of that somehow because of someone else. It makes no sense to me. Maybe I shouldn't have trusted them as much. Max, go ahead.
I wanted to keep them in the game as long as I did because I knew that they were liked in the house by a lot of people, including me. I liked them just as people. And I knew because of that, it was kind of a security blanket, I'll be honest. It was kind of a security blanket for me, well-liked people in the house that I liked, that I knew that I could trust.
Okay. Fair answer. Quinn.
Yes. Hi.
You're not questioning Quinn.
This is not Quinn's interrogation.
I just wanted to tell him that, like, I'm so not mad at him anymore, and I hope he's not mad at me.
Yeah. I was never mad at you to begin with. It's all a game, man.
I was.
Oh,
I was.
really?
I was of course I was. I was mad at like my family the first time I played this game. So I
That's
think I
true.
would be
Bradley
mad at
played
you.
his first time around with my wife and our sister and a lot of our really close friends. It was
Yeah.
an emotionally difficult game.
I had to vote my sister out, and it was the worst thing I've ever done.
I
So
did watch that on YouTube. I watched the clips that Josh posted on his channel.
we're famous on YouTube
and
now.
It was, yeah.
That was tough.
Oh,
Great.
John, just so you know, did you see my introduction?
I loved it. The pick stitch, broken
Okay.
pinky promises. That's the end of the world. And
Um,
also, I love how Trey caught himself up with saying, "John, I felt so bad after the Super Bowl," but then saying John wasn't like he was going out soon.
On that note, me and John should get out of this Big
All
Brother
right.
Jury house.
I'm
We'll
outta
wait for the
here.
one-time
Yeah,
chance.
John, Bradley, Quinn, all leave, please. I have questions.
Oh, man.
Bye, Quinn. I love you.
Love you
Quinn.
too.
I love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Gotcha.
All right, I have questions on Melody's behalf because she cannot join us in the feed. She is watching, so this is as good as her asking. Are you guys good? Okay. All right, Melody asks to both of you. Let's see. We'll start with this one. It says, "Why do you deserve Melody's vote?" Trey, go ahead.
I think, like I've been saying this over and over again, I think I did a good job of playing the house as opposed to playing the competitions. I kind of let off the gas a little bit to let other people be targets while I kind of flew under the radar a little bit and then turned it on strong when I needed to, and now I'm here.
Max?
I think I deserve your vote, Melody, because the relationship I built with you was genuine. And the only reason I voted you out was because I knew that you had a really solid resume. You were well liked by the house. I just knew that I couldn't take you to the end. So it was a complete game move. And I was not afraid to do that. So I hope you can write in that. I love you, and I hope I can get your vote.
All right, 1 second. I'll get her next question. Oh, her next question was, we'll start with Max this time. What's your best move in the game and why?
My best move in the game was, even though it didn't work, I think putting Quinn up on the block the first time at the Super Bowl was my move, because that completely changed the entire dynamic of the game. At that point, that started me pretty much being alone in the house. And from that point on, I kind of had to rely on my comp wins to carry me through to the end. And I think that just kind of showed the type of game player that I am and my ability to influence important parts of the game.
Her next question to both of you before she has individual questions. Sorry, go ahead, Trey. What?
My best move?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Trey. Yes, your best move. I'm sorry.
Okay. My best move was also the one that I felt the worst about, because as far as being a nice person, it wasn't good. But as far as playing the game, I think it was a stroke of genius. It's when I ended up backstabbing John in the back. It caused me like almost physical pain because I felt so bad about it. But I think it was the right move, because if I had not made that move, I would not be here right now. I don't think that's up for debate.
Her next question is, let's make this one a little shorter. Favorite part of the game?
Can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
When you were getting roasted. It like when the group me just started melting down and just like we were all best friends. That was the highlight for me.
Great answer. Max?
I mean, I would say that, but I don't want to say that again because he stole it. But
I stole it. You got first one.
No, it's okay. I would say kind of similar. Just the side conversations in the group chats just were so hilarious. I was like sitting there just like bowled over laughing half the time just because of like something stupid somebody said, or when we would just like go on these tangents about Subway or whatever, and I was just like, this is out of control. So those just the times when we could kind of forget about the game and just all be friends.
All right, first Trey question. Trey, did you have the extra vote advantage the night Ben was evicted?
Yes, Ben gave it to me, and
Got 2 advantages.
Ben gave it to me, and he said, "I'll give it to you if you vote to save me." And I wanted Ben to work together, and I voted to try to save him. So I was the only 2 votes trying to save him, just because I had wanted, like, he and I were working together at the time, and I wanted to save him.
And then Max, her question says, and starts with, in parentheses, be sure to tell him that I'm not mad at him for his gameplay and that he made the right choice. And the question is, who were you the most loyal to?
I was the most loyal to Bobby, hands down. I was the only vote to save him in the double eviction. We were in another bed. Me, Bobby, and Ben had a Clemson alliance day one. And I never turned from Bobby. We always talked to each other. We always had each other's back. And at that point in the game, when he got voted out, no one was telling me the plan. I wasn't being talked to at all. So I just kind of had to like vote the way I wanted to vote, and I wanted to keep him because I knew that we were buds.
All right, so this is the end, and it's really sad. It's been a fun game. I've enjoyed playing, but between the 2 people left, I have to say that while both played good games, I think that Max should be the winner. Played a good game. He was in my alliance to start with the Clemson guys. It was never bad to me, except I believe he voted me out at the very end, but that was for his own personal survival. Can't blame him for that. Trey lied to my alliance a few times, and probably wasn't my favorite guy through the whole game, but that's just on the game. Outside the game, great person. Love the dude. Hope him the best, but hope Max wins.
Okay. Big moment here. This is my vote for Season 3 of Big Brother. We vote Max Teddy to win the game. Played a great game, Max. Good luck, buddy. Hope you win.
I vote for Max to win or whatever. I'm sorry.
This entire season looks like it.
Well, the decision's tough, and there's a lot of noise going on in the background behind me. But my decision on who I choose to win Big Brother Hometown Season 3 is Max Teddy.
I vote Max for the winner.
Okay, so both Trey and Max both have played a great game. I didn't make this choice until I saw some of the answers that you guys were giving, and I would be really mad at myself if I didn't choose who I really thought played the game the best. That being said, I vote for Max to win.
I hate that I'm doing this. But Max, I'm voting for you to win Season 3 of Big Brother Hometowns.
Max, you have won Big Brother Hometowns Season 3. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Trey. Amazing job.
Max, for the record, you won 7-0.
Yeah,
Wow.
wouldn't surprise me.
So yes, Max, you've done it. You've won the game. Let's.
That's all, Max.
Wow. Thank you so much.
So this
Oh my
group
God.
chat is for you guys in the game and those still watching. You're getting a lot of congrats in the chat. Connor Mills, who won last season, big congrats. Ashton, my sister, was rooting for you. There's a lot of love for your game, Max. Trey, awesome job.
Man.
Making it this far was not. You may not have gotten a vote, but it's you played a great that. Flipping on Quinn or flipping with Quinn was a fantastic move that I did not think was a good move at the time, but it really worked out for you. So, some other things that you guys want to know: the stray vote for Melody. Quinn's back. Yeah, if you want to hop in, you are and you're watching. Just join. Quinn, you're upside down.
My apologies.
Melody, if you want to know, the stray vote against you was Leighton.
Yeah,
We knew it.
that was easy.
I'm going to get Abby in here. I think I'm going to cut off the official stream, but we can... Oh, Abby's here.
Hi!
I'm going to cut off the stream, and then you guys can keep talking if that's okay. Thank you, everybody that has watched this season, that has been in the viewing party, that has watched this hour-and-a-half finale. This has been so much fun. I'm so glad we did it this way. This was a really great season with some really great game players. It was an awesome time from start to finish. Max is an absolutely deserving winner. And Max, this is my direct quote. I said this yesterday, that I think that you played as close to a perfect game of a Big Brother game as possible. I really think that. And as evidenced by a 7-0 vote. So congratulations here on the stream. I'm going to cut off the stream, but I'll stay here in the chat. I may have to call Jenny, but you guys can talk all you want. And, signing off from Big Brother Hometown Season 3. Please apply for Season 4. And we're gonna have some in-depth interviews with some of these players in the coming days. They don't know that yet, but we're definitely gonna do it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So stay on the viewing party. It's gonna be great. And we will see you next season.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Wait, who was the stray vote?
Leighton.
It was Leighton.
It was late.
I freaking